everybody. I hope that you can hear me and we'll give this a little test run. So I could not be more excited to be here. And until I see some people logging on, I'm going to go ahead and play some pump up music, right? Because we just heard an incredible talk from Tara Webb and I think we need some pump up music. Okay, so if you can hear me, give me some thumbs up and some hearts. And I'm going to play my pump up music. And I'm loving that some of my managers are logging on. Lauren, Brooke, love you guys. Kelly joined. That's my upline. Hey, Kelly. I am playing my pump up music because like you guys heard from Tara Webb yesterday, who was incredible, she talked about really believing in yourself. And I got to tell you, it is so nerve-wracking for me to be on here and to talk to thousands of you guys. It just blows my mind. And so I'm playing my personal favorite pump up song, which is Britt Nicole and her song Change the World, or Be the Change, which is amazing. And so I'm just going to play a little bit of this until you guys are on. And I know that you guys can hear me, so give me some hearts. Yay! Everybody can hear. All right, awesome. And the numbers are climbing, which I totally love to see. I hope you guys find this talk super helpful. It has changed my life, my world, everything. So pumped about that for you guys. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this going because I've got tons of information. And let's face it, it's supper time, right? I mean, where I'm at, it is 5 o'clock p.m. So here in the South, I just feel like y'all are at my house and I should be serving you dinner. So I'm going to let you guys, we're going to get through this training so that y'all can get back to your families, because once you go through this, I feel like it is going to, I know it is going to give you more time. It's going to help you feel less stressed. This has been the key to helping me feel successful and to really be the master of my own calendar. So let's jump right in. I am so pumped. I hope y'all are too. Okay, so first I want to start out and tell you guys who I am and why this is such an important topic to me. And let's just get real with each other. I have loved the other speakers, Connie, Tara, Marin. They all got so real and vulnerable with the struggles they've had and their triumphs and just their own personal journeys. I think it is so important for us to connect with each other and to be real with each other. So a little bit about who I am. If you don't know me, I am Rachel Bennington. I have been with Jamberry since May of 2014. And oh my goodness, it has been such a blessing. It has been highs and lows and a wild ride, but I would not want to be anywhere else. And the future of this company is exactly what I want to be a part of. And I could not be more pumped up, especially after the executive retreat this weekend and all of the crazy, amazing stuff that we heard from our CEO, Elizabeth Thibodeau. If you're listening, Elizabeth, we love you. All right, so let's jump right in. How did I get into Jamberry and how did I get to where I'm at today? So in May of 2014, my husband and I were coming up on our 10-year wedding anniversary. My babies at the time were 4, 3, and 2. We had just gone through an international adoption. Our youngest is adopted from China. She is amazing, but she was born with special needs. And so when we brought her home, we had tons of intense therapy. And through that, as a mama of now 3 little ones and 2 in diapers, I was losing my mind. Y'all, anybody else feel like that, drowning in diapers? I'm not anymore, but at the time, that was my life. And I knew that it was fulfilling and it was purposeful, but I also had this longing in my heart for something else, something that was mine and something that I felt like I could connect with other women about. So in May of 2014, my sweet, precious husband and I went to marriage counseling. We wanted to ensure that the next 10 years of our marriage was just as awesome as our first 10, and also just to process major life events that we had gone through, our adoption, the therapy, all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we did. And I remember our first counseling appointment, the counselor sitting down with us, and she looked right at my husband and she said, all right, well, you guys want to make the next 10 years as amazing as the first, then why don't you tell me, what are your hopes and dreams for the next 10 years? So, of course, my husband, like any man, he never shares his feelings, and he just started opening up and going on and on about what he wanted the next 10 years to look at. And of course, I'm like hanging on his every word, because a chance for my husband to open up was like amazing. So I'm hanging on his every word, and he's telling me about all his hopes and dreams. And then, you guessed it, she looked right at me and she said, whoo, this is giving me chills. I hope I don't cry. She said, Rachel, what are your hopes and dreams and desires? And y'all, it had been years since I'd thought about that. My hopes and dreams and desires were for my children, for my husband, for our family. I hadn't thought about me in a long time. And if I had, it was probably right before I went to bed, and I was losing my mind anyways. So thinking of having her put me on the spot like that was such an eye-opening thing that I had forgotten to dream for myself. So I went home and I started journaling, and I started praying about what I was supposed to be doing. And I knew I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, and even that was okay to be outside of taking care of my little ones at home. And my husband was a business owner, so I got to see that aspect of things and help him with that. But in my heart, I wanted something for me too. And so that very next week, God answered my prayer, and I was in my first Facebook party, which was mind-blowing, in May of 2014, because all of these friends that were in this group, we were actually raising money for another friend who was adopting. And so I just was so pumped that I got to be a part of this online party with friends that I had never even met before, but were all a part of our adoption group, and we were raising funds to help someone else. That is something that I caught the vision for and I wanted to be a part of. So at the end of the week, you know, crazy old me with a 4, 3, and 2-year-old comes sending messages to my friend Heather and said, how can I be a part of this? How can I get in on this? How can I join this organization that can help me find that little part of me again? And that's what I did. So long story short, just to kind of fast forward through some things, that time in my life, I was so excited. I did what every other Southern girl did, get on the phone and immediately tell all of my friends and family about this crazy, exciting journey that I had just started. So left and right, I had friends that were in the same boat as I was, probably battling a little bit of depression, definitely struggling to know who I am, and just this desire to be a part of something bigger. And they were all joining left and right. It was amazing. So and I loved it. I know you guys know what I mean out there. If you do know what I mean, give me some hearts and some thumbs up. If you are drinking the jam juice and you are loving what you are doing right now, it becomes so easy to work and to work and to work. I totally get it. I was working nonstop, but I was loving it. And little did I know that I had gone from one side of the pendulum all the way to the other. And what was suffering in the meantime was my family. Whew, definitely going to get choked up about this one. Give me a minute. Whew. Okay. What was suffering was my family and my kids, and especially my husband, which is not what I wanted. And of course, I know y'all are out there, and many of you are feeling overwhelmed, exhausted. You love this so much, and you see the hope and the desire of where it's going in the future. You want to be a part of it, but your family, they are not going to have this. They do not want to continue to battle you and Jamberry at the same time. So there is a hope, y'all. There is a hope. There is a plan, and I cannot wait to tell you about it, because it literally saved my life and my marriage, and I am so passionate about telling other women about it who also feel the same way that I feel. So here I was coming up on being with the company 6 months. I had hustled my little tail off and made it all the way to Premier Executive. And I couldn't be more proud of where I was at in my career, helping other women achieve their goals, their dreams, their desires. It felt so fulfilling from that point. But my husband and my kids, they had had enough. So December of 2014, my husband and I sat down, and he said, babe, I love that this has fulfilled something in you. It has awakened a fire in you that I have not seen in a long time. And I want to support you. I want to watch you continue down this journey that I know God has for you, but we have got to set some better ground rules, because if this is going to be the next year of our life, then we're going to drive this wedge further between us, and we're neglecting our kids and our time together. And that's not why you joined it. My dear sweet husband, and those wise words, it totally got to me. And more than that, in January of 2015, I hosted my first team manager retreat where all my leaders got to come to my house. I got to spoil them, spend time with them. And y'all, my heart at the end, I was so full to spend time with them, but so saddened too, because I could see the exhaustion in their eyes. I could see the tiredness from the hustle, and I could see the little bit of loss of hope of how this was going to look like in the future coming years. And I knew as a leader, I needed an answer, and I needed an answer very quickly, or I was going to lose these girls and everything that we had worked so hard to build. So in January of 2015, I went to my very first executive retreat, and I cannot tell you, answered prayer among answered prayer. I had Sherry McAllister walk up across the stage. If y'all have seen her, she has the website Average to Excellence. She is amazing in the direct selling world. She's a guru, and she got up on stage and talked about time management. It blew my mind. And of course, I did what every other crazy businesswoman who's driven would do. I stalked her out in the hallway until she agreed that she would coach me, because that's normal, right? So I did. I went to her and I said, Sherry, and at the time, Jamberry didn't have those kinds of resources. They had Jamberry University, but it was nothing like it is today. So please hear me say, you do not need to pay for expensive coaching. You can get this advice here. You can get it from your help of your upline leaders, because we've all sought out some type of training and help that is going to help you guys. So I'm going to teach you some of her system. So Sherry agreed to coach me, and her system completely helped change and blow my world and my managers, and this is what we follow. So the first thing she said is, Rachel, you work a business. Every business has business hours. Why are you selling yourself short and not setting business hours? And I was like, Sherry, because I have to be there for my customers. I mean, when they message me, I just need to answer them right away, right? I know you guys feel the same way, because anytime I'm on the phone coaching any of my new consultants that are exhausted, the number one thing I ask them is, do you set business hours? And they're like, business hours? What are those? Yeah. We work a business. We have to set business hours. So that is the first thing I did, was I set my business hours. Second thing I did was I ran my schedule by my family. Now hear me say this. If you don't have a family out there, more power to you. You still need to work business hours. It is healthy for you, and the people that are watching you, they want to know that this business does not run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They want to know that. Or if you are doing that, they're not going to want to join you, because who wants to work like that every day of their life? No way. No way. So I run this by my family. My husband and I get together on Sunday nights, and we have our business meeting. In fact, we just kick the kids out and let them watch a movie and have some popcorn, and it is our time to go over our schedule. And so I ask him, honey, what are the nights of the week that are most important to you this week and this month? Because I want to mark those down. I want to make him feel valued. And most importantly, I want him to be a part of my Jamberry business and to support me in this. He is more likely to support me if he feels like he is valued and a part of my schedule. So ladies, if you have husbands out there who are protesting your business right now, I would place money on it that it is because you have not run your schedule by them, and you have not taken the time to just really invite them into this business first and make them feel honored and accepted and welcomed to this. So I sit down with him and we go over our schedule, and he shares with me his important days of the week. And then I share with him the days that I would like to go live in my online parties, that I would like to do trainings with my team. And together we work out our childcare situation with our kiddos, and we work out when that's good. And sometimes I have to compromise. Sometimes I have to find the win-win. Okay, babe, I want to go live on Thursday night, but you've got this for your men's Bible study group. Okay, so the win-win is I'll do that at home and I'll go a little bit later, and you're going to be home a little bit earlier. and that's the win-win. Whatever it is, you guys want to work together. I promise you it's going to bless your business and it'll help you go so much further. Okay, so work your business like a business, run your schedule by your family. Number 3 is exactly what I learned from Sherry McAllister. She has something called the 5 productive priorities. Now for our business, I've added in the 6th because I feel like it's super important. And we all know that application is super important in our business. And so for what she teaches, the business that she ran in the past and that how she teaches her system, customer follow-up is not part of that. So let me run through the 6 productive priorities. And y'all, if you are writing as fast as you can, that's okay. You can watch the replay. You can take notes. This is going to be great. And I see some people, Rebecca, I see you on. You said you're not married. It's totally, I get it. You're not married, but you still have got to work your business like a business because people are watching you and they are going to want to join you if they see that they can work flexible hours and still have fun with their regular life. If they see you working 24 hours a day, girlfriend, ain't nobody want to sign up for that. So it is still important, even if you don't have a spouse, to work your business like a business and set business hours. You're going to get more out of your time for that as well, too. And Lizzie, I love that you love productive priorities. Lizzie is one of my top performing Aussies. So to you, Lizzie, I know this is going to be a review for you. Okay, so what are these productive priorities? Number 1 is booking. You cannot run a direct selling business without some bookings. Whether it's blessing bags as your booking or fundraisers or vendor events or home parties, online parties, bookings is the heart of our business. Number 1 is booking. Number 2, hostess coaching. We can't get to where we want if we don't coach that host to where we want her to go. You want a $500 party? Okay, awesome. Let's tell you how to get to a $500 party. These are the things we need to see, and this is what we need to work on together. Partnering with your hostess and building that relationship is so worth it, and it's number 2 on your productive priorities. All right, number 3, y'all. You've got booking, you've got hostess coaching. Next, you've got holding your party, right? You're going to hold your party. You're going to schedule the time in your calendar to actually have your parties. Because what happens is you fill your calendar and then you're like, oh no, I have an online party and I forgot that I need to go live on Tuesday night and I forgot to schedule my kids' basketball practice. So by scheduling in these productive priorities, you're not going to miss a beat. And again, I told you, I do this on Sunday nights with my husband so we can get our calendar laid out for the week. If I'm really good, I'll do it 2 weeks in advance. So that way, when I'm booking, I know exactly where everything's falling. And some of you are even more awesome and you do it by the month. So way to go, you. Little pat on your back. All right, so we've gone over the first 3. We did booking, hostess coaching, holding your parties. Number 4 is customer follow-up. So I don't know about you, but in my online parties, I like to have a live night. And that live night has got to be followed up with making sure those customers who got all pumped up and excited during my live time, they place orders. I want them ordering, right? That's what we do. So I am going to do customer follow-up with that. And with my people that have ordered, I'm going to make sure that I follow that 222 follow-up system. Now, if you're like, Rachel, I have no clue what a 222 follow-up system is, it's okay. I've got a YouTube channel and it's got a 222 follow-up system. Or you can go to your upline team manager or executive and they can explain it to you. A follow-up system, any kind of system that you try, is better than nothing. Trust me, because when I started this business, I did no follow-up. And I know I lost a lot of customers along the way. So follow-up is key, and that is number 4 on your productive priorities. Again, these are in no particular order because I know number 1 would be recruiting, right? We all want to recruit because the bigger that you grow your team, the bigger you grow your paycheck, and the more blessing you share to other people. So I know that, but these are just what I like to call the productive priorities in no particular order. So number 5 is recruiting. Now, let me tell you, recruiting does not just mean, and this is what I tell my team, be aggressive, passive aggressive with recruiting. Now, let me tell you why, because you're like, passive aggressive, what? Okay, there's passive recruiting, which means the people that are in your parties. They are in your parties and they are active audience. They are ready for you to tell them about recruiting. In fact, they probably know that you're going to tell them about recruiting at some point during the party. That is your passive recruits. Those are people right there on a silver platter just waiting for you to offer the business opportunity. opportunity to them. So those are your passive, right? Now, I like to be aggressive in recruiting. And some of you that are number one recruiters in the company, I have picked your brain. I have tried to follow your cues. Aggressive recruiting means that you take the time to schedule recruiting time in your schedule. And more than that, you make a wish list or a dream team. Who is your dream team? Who is that one friend that you look out there and you're like, ooh, oh, if I had Jessica on my team, I would be bankrolling. She would be amazing. She's on my list. I am going to build a relationship with her and I'm going to pursue her. That is aggressive recruiting. Maybe your aggressive recruiting looks like you're going to go hang out in Starbucks and you're going to do your nails that week and you're going to see if there's anyone around you watching and you're going to go ask that person if they want to come sit with you and figure out how to do this mani together. That is aggressive recruiting, and as you are spending intentional time to work to grow your team. So remember that little passive aggressive, right? So number 5 on productive priorities is recruiting. I am reading you guys' comments and it's so much fun. Okay, number 6 is coaching your team. Coaching your team. Now, if you don't have a team, you still need to schedule some time into researching how to coach a team. Just like Marin said today, having that mindset of what rank you want to have, what future you want to have. That's what you need to be doing. So if you want to have a big team, start researching how people got big teams, how they recruited, how they started coaching those teams. You need to all form that into your recruiting database so that you can pull out that info when you do have that big team, because it's going to happen. If you have that mindset and you tell yourself and you work in that direction, it will happen. Now, if you do have a big team out there, I want you to notice something very important. There's 6 productive priorities. 5 of those are on your personal business. Now, isn't that interesting? We all think that once we become leaders, our personal business is just going to fly itself and that you can just coach your team and collect a paycheck and there's nothing to it. Absolutely wrong. You have got to have a great personal business, because if you want to coach your team to the top level, you have to lead by example. If you're not doing any parties, they're going to know it and they're not going to do any parties. If you're not recruiting, they're going to know it and they're not going to be recruiting. On the flip side, if you are rocking the home party world, you are going to have the best tips to give your team. If you're rocking the online parties, you're going to have the best tips to give your team. And that's the kind of leader I want to be, and I know that's the kind of leader you want to be. So your personal business has got to be a must. Okay, so how can we bring this all together now that we've talked about the 6 productive priorities? I'm going to teach you some time hacks and some things that I do that help me. I already went through one of them about sharing my schedule with my family. So anytime I give any kind of talk, I love to tell you guys what I use and exactly where I found it, because if you're anything like me, I don't like to leave anything to question. And I'm like, where did she get that? That is so cool. Okay, so first things first. I like to use an Erin Condren planner. Now, you can use any old cheap planner, but the important thing is that I like that it has tabs here for all of your months, so you can quickly get to those, because when I'm booking a party, I need to quickly get to my calendar and know what are my available dates to book more parties. So I like that. I also like that it has your week by hour. So if you see mine, I'm getting ready to go through all this crazy mess here, but it goes by hour. That way, my time is precious. It's precious with my family. It's precious in my business. I want to make the most of it. I want to make it work for me, not me work for it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Let me get some thumbs up and some hearts if you're feeling the same way. I love it. So what I do is every single week, I take the 6 productive priorities and I put them in my calendar. Bam, right there, ladies. 6 productive priorities. Put them in my calendar and I color code them. Now, y'all might not like to be as crazy and colorful, and that's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I love color, and so I went to Walmart and I bought a pack of 6 colorful highlighters. They ran roughly $5. Some give or take, somewhere around that. You could probably get these other places, but I'm just telling you what I do. So I get these 6 colorful highlighters, And I like to use this one right here for holding parties, because let's face it, when you hold parties, you make some money, and money is green. So my parties are in green on my schedule. Now that means if I'm running an online party and I'm gonna need to do some sent share posting, then I'm gonna schedule that time out in green. If I'm gonna have 2 live nights, I'm going to schedule that time in green. If I'm going to follow up on Friday and make sure I get all those orders in and I answer all those questions and I do follow up for the party, that's going to be in green. Now, for bookings, because yellow to me is just a bright, sunny, fun color, I use yellow. Yellow means that I have got that rev, that fire to just go for it, and that sunshine in my belly that I'm going to fill my books with bookings. And so this is what I use. I use purple for my team time. I stole that from my upline Kelly. She uses purple for her team time. I use purple for my team time because that's kind of Jamberry's color, right? And then the other ones, really no particular reason why. I think I use pink for hostess coaching because I love me some hostesses, right? And then the other 2 are just thrown in there for customer follow-up and for recruiting. Now, recruiting's super important too, right? So those are my 6 colors for my 6 productive priorities, and I schedule them into my week. Now, you guys are seeing here, this purple is coaching call times. If you have a team, you have got to be coaching them. Don't even get me started on that whole soapbox. And I have a coaching call video on my YouTube channel, and I know your uplines all have coaching strategies that they do too, so please reach out to your upline team managers and executives and get their advice on that. You have a team. Every team needs coached. Think about your professional athletes. Think about your motivational speakers, financial advisors. All of them have coaches. You need a coach too, and your team needs to be coached. So that is such a key, important part of this as well. But anyways, so I've got my time in here. I've got my parties. Those are my money days. I've got my customer follow-up. I've got my recruiting time. I'm going to go hang me out at some Starbucks. If you live in Starbucks in Northwest Arkansas, you're going to find me there trying to recruit some people. So that is the 6 productive priorities. And every single week on Sunday, they go right here. Then they go in my calendar. So important. I just feel so passionately about people in life. They do not plan to, they don't go through life thinking, oh, I'm going to just fail at Jamberry. No, they fail to plan. And that's what this is about, is you write down your productive priorities and you get them into your calendar. Now, let me tell you another time suck that I have identified, because it's important to see those things that are sucking up your time. And that is Facebook Messenger. If you are out there and you are sucked in by Facebook Messenger, give me a thumbs up or a heart, because I know that is something that sucks my time too. So let me tell you, when I am doing my 6 productive priorities, when I'm booking parties and I'm hostess coaching, Messenger is completely turned off. I am not paying attention to it. I will not get back to people because, again, I set my business hours and I schedule time to answer people's messages. Whether that's 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night, that is going to be ample time to get back to your team. My team, I know that they send me a message and they're not wasting their whole day waiting for me to get back to them. Good customer service says I get back to you within 24 hours, and I do. So you should not be sitting on your messenger waiting for your team or your customers to message you either. Good customer service is within 24 hours, and you guys can easily do that. So one thing I do as a little time hack is I use this little kitchen timer. Now, I know you guys saw me post a little teaser about how this saves my life, but let me just tell you, as a mom of 3, this was so life-changing for me. And here's why. I post my business hours for my kids to see. Now, they're 6, 5, and 4 right now, so they can read time. But when they were little, they had no idea what that meant, but they knew what this meant. And they knew when that little ding was up, mommy was going to put everything away, and it was playtime. And when I was doing playtime, I was not on my phone checking Facebook Messenger and all those types of things. It was playtime because it was scheduled playtime. And if you're out there thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't had time to play with my kids, it is time to get control of your schedule again and do the things you really want to do, because that's why we do this business, y'all. So schedule that playtime into your schedule and set your little timer for your work hours. And when that buzzer dings, it is time to go be with your family. And you can even set a little timer for playing with your kids. I'll say, okay, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of game time with you. And I'll set my little timer. So that is something that has truly helped revolutionize my time and my schedule, because kids thrive off of schedule and expectation. And if they know that they can expect that mommy's going to work for the next hour, but then that following hour is going to be playtime, they are more likely to respect your time. And you've got to stick to it. Definitely have to stick to it. Another thing with time suck for me and the messenger is answering even my leaders. So one thing I've done to get myself off of Facebook and into a more connection with my family is a program called Voxer. It's on my phone. It's a free app that you can download, and you can connect with all your new consultants, your top up-and-coming consultants, and even your leaders just by a little voice message. It works like a walkie-talkie. You press a button, you leave them a little message, and then you press the button, and it automatically sends it to that person. Heck, I even have a group going with all of my frontline managers where I can send them an immediate message that I know when they get their first chance, they're going to check Voxer. They're going to listen to it, because it is much safer listening to that message while driving in the car, picking up your kids from school, than it is to be scrolling on Facebook, right? I hope nobody does that. Nobody does that, right? Nobody. So Voxer is a safe way to get those messages very quickly. I'm sorry with my accent. It's probably sounding like Foxer. It's Voxer with a V. V-O-X-E-R. Voxer. And I can post some more info about that after this talk. Okay, so I want to wrap this up so you guys see, and thank you, Amanda. Amanda is on our team. She utilizes Voxer, and you are saying Voxer. Yes, with a V. Voxer. V-O-X-E-R. So utilize your time clock, utilize programs like Voxer that get you away from Facebook and still allow you to spend that coaching time, truly spending time building that relationship with your team. Okay, so you guys know that you've got to put the 6 productive priorities into your calendar. You've got to schedule that time into your books. You've got to run your schedule by your family, because it's important to have them a part of your business and supporting you, right? Working your business like a business with business hours, taking control of your time instead of letting it take control of you, right? We all want that. And then you want to make sure that you stick to those hours that you set, and that you truly give this a chance. Now, let me tell you, just as a disclaimer, am I perfect at this? Absolutely not. There are times I forget my planner at home and I fall off the bandwagon. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have my planner. I'm off my business hours. What happens? You get right back on it. You find your planner and you get right back on it. It's okay if you have some slip-ups here and there, but what's not okay is making that a habit and that into your regular life. You can't have that anymore, right? This is our time to take control of our calendar before it takes control of you. And I know many of you have already been facing that, because I was that person too. So I hope that today you guys feel inspired. You feel a little bit of relief to know that top leaders have been experiencing this too, and there is answers to your problems. That is taking control of your schedule and scheduling those productive priorities. We're going to play back this recording. I'm going to have it on my YouTube channel, which my YouTube channel is Jam Sessions with Rachel, all in one word. Jam Sessions with Rachel. And we have a giveaway. My love language is gifts, so my team, they know I love to give me some gifts. And so you guys are going to be able to respond to my little post that I post after this, and you can, if you respond to that, you're going to be entered to win. You're going to win 2 wraps that are my favorite, which I can't believe I'm going to give these up, but hey, I'll give them up because they're 2 of my favorite wraps, and you're going to get coaching time with me. My coaching calls are intense. They're 20 minutes, but I promise you I can help you in your business, and I'd love to do that if you win that coaching time. So I'm going to post that right after this. I hope that you guys found this beneficial. Most of all, I hope that you just have hope, because this is the company to be with. This is the place to be. This is our year. Oh my goodness, this is our year. Woo! I'm excited. And this is your time to get control of your schedule. Your family will support you. You will feel less stressed, more empowered, more excited about your business when you are in control of it, right? Yes, you will. And so I am so blessed to spend this time with you. I love you, ladies. If you have questions, please ask them in the comments below, and I promise you I will get to those as soon as I can. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a fabulous evening.